Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of We Know Nothing About. Today we're going to be talking about the new hit series Stranger Things.
I refuse to believe it's a hit.
Hey, you don't say that, man. That show is...
I mean, after watching it as homework...
Okay, slow down. We'll get to that when we get to that. I'm here with Colonel, myself, and our guest star, Diego. Diego, tell us a little about yourself.
I studied cinematography. I like this. I'm actually excited to be here. I actually told him to invite me a couple of times, and I'm just here finally.
You said no?
No, I said, I'll find a topic that you're really interested in, and, Stranger Things is the one. Okay. First of all, why do you think it's not a hit show? What about it?
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Why you don't think
Because,
it's a hit show?
you don't have to like it, but you can't say that this show isn't a big deal. It's all over the place.
So, one, obviously, I kind of had to watch this as homework for the show, so... Admittedly, maybe there was already a level of I don't like this already, so that's a disclaimer. After watching the whole thing, which I finished it yesterday, last night, I gotta say, I don't know, I kind of feel like it was like what little blue ball you got stayed that way, and there was no climax.
What does that mean?
What do you mean no climax?
There was no climax for me in this show.
What?
It just kind of ran. It just kind of happened, you know.
Okay.
But we'll get into more details as we go. But that's my
I feel like I understand what you're saying.
All right. Maybe you do.
Yeah.
Maybe you do. And we can blame it on a few things that we'll get into in a sec.
Let's take it part by part. You want to start with the characters, maybe?
Yeah, sure. I actually...
Okay.
All right, so I adore the characters in the show.
I think the characters... I don't know about you, but I think the characters pretty much support the show. Like it's the basis. The characters are... probably the first reason you're watching the show.
Yeah, this show would not be as successful as it was, or even as good as it was, without these characters. These characters, well, every character in every TV show or movie carries the whole story.
Right.
But these characters are just so well done and so well written and so well acted that they just worked on every level. And I feel like one of the things that maybe not a whole lot of people are talking about, but some people are talking about, it's about the kids. And these kids are kids. Yeah. They're not kids talking with adult dialogue or doing adult stuff. They're doing kid things. They're playing Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yeah.
That's what it was. They're playing Dungeons and Dragons. They're talking about movies. And that's it. And that's one of the aspects of the show.
I get that.
Like, honestly,
the kids,
you can remove everything else in the show. Just leave the human characters.
Oh yeah,
and it'd be fine.
It'd be great.
It'd be fine. I almost wish it was about these people's lives.
Yeah.
Instead of what the show was about.
The show could be anything, and as long as it has its characters, it works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It could be a detective show. It could be a drama. It could be anything, and it'd be great.
It could even be like Seinfeld.
I don't know about you guys, but the one that surprised me the most was Hopper, the chief of police.
Oh my god! You mean the best character in the show?
Yes, I did not believe he was going to be one of my favorite characters in the whole show. When they introduced him, like the stereotype, the chief that gets things done, who likes donuts and coffee, but then you start to see more of his backstory and what his motives, and he really cares about the case, and he just... Mm-hmm. And plus the performance of the actor, it just sells the whole character.
Oh yeah, it really does.
Man, no, I liked the white-haired government guy.
White-haired government guy?
I didn't like him.
Oh, the villain, the antagonist.
Sorta. I liked him. I liked Steve. And I liked... honestly,
I
guess...
John Ralphio?
I guess.
John Ralphio. See, that he hasn't seen Parks and Rec.
No, I'm not.
But, yeah, he literally looks like John Ralphio. But, yeah.
I liked also Barb.
Barb is great, yeah.
Barb is great. I wish there had been more of Barb.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't gonna like her at first either. I felt like that way with Hopper. I liked Hopper.
Yeah, a lot of characters feel like they were gonna be these archetypes.
Yeah,
but then they make.
And the same with the older brother. I thought the older brother was just gonna
Jonathan.
be like Jonathan. I thought he was gonna be like the weirdo, and that was it.
He
and
still kind of was, but
there's a
convention.
He kicked ass. I thought he was gonna get his ass kicked. But he kicked ass.
The ass was
and I'm like,
I liked it so much when he punched Steve.
Dude,
yes.
Right? But I never saw that coming because you always expect the weirdo to get bullied by the. But he was like, no,
he kicked ass back.
He kicked ass.
Obviously you gotta love the kids. That goes without saying.
Yeah, obviously.
The kids were obviously except for Will. I mean, I think Will was the least.
Will just didn't have nothing to do.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not his fault.
That's not his fault.
It's the writer's fault.
Yeah.
That he didn't have anything interesting. He was easily the least interesting character, and there were a lot of least interesting
But
characters.
going
But that,
back
you know,
to
that-
least interesting characters, I actually really didn't like the villain. And for me, that's one of the most disappointing aspects of the whole show.
What?
The villain. Like,
I mean,
it just felt like he was being evil for the sake of being evil, and for the sake
but
of
at the
the
same
show.
time, he wasn't.
And for the sake of the show, to have like an
I totally
antagonizing figure.
see his point.
I didn't like him because I didn't like him because I hated the characters. Just didn't like that he was just there to like an antagonizing figure.
Okay.
But
against
without
these
it-
characters that
but
I
with-
just really didn't like.
But without him,
So you would have preferred if the movie, if the
movie?
the show
This movie?
was directed
It's a
against the
borderline
monster, just against the monster.
What do you mean?
Like instead of the antagonist.
No,
being
it's
there.
not that. I just mean like he should have been more developed, have more stuff to do.
yeah, he was very. They just kind of showed them at some parts, but they do.
I personally found the lady who killed Benny much more memorable than the guy with the white hair. I don't know
Yeah,
if you've
when
seen
she
it.
shows up at the science teacher's house,
Yeah.
I was like,
Fuck.
oh damn.
She really
She
was
better not-
scarier.
She better not kill the science
Right?
teacher.
The science teacher is so good. Oh, when he got the girl at the end.
Oh man.
What?
Oh
He
man.
stopped that hot date for the kids to save
Yeah.
the kids.
Yeah, he did.
I love his mustache.
But
Mustache.
you're totally right. There's a lot of characters that are just
But going to the antagonist
Exactly.
guy, he's not that bad.
he's not that bad, but he could have been better.
Because
He could have been
he's
better.
just doing his job for his country, you know, spying on the Soviets.
Oh, you mean in that sense? No, yeah, I understand.
he wasn't doing it?
Like, but that's what I wanted to see. I wanted the show to make me feel like maybe he has a point of view as well. Maybe his methods are, archaic and bad, but behind all of it, there is maybe like a nice thing. Like he truly believes that what he's doing is for the betterment of everyone, but they don't really show that. They kind of just
What do
show
you,
him
I
as,
mean,
like,
in
the
one
bad
part,
guy.
and probably it was probably just because of the interrogation, right? He was trying probably to get inside his interrogees, right? But when he says, "Oh, this thing is gonna keep taking, kids every night," so I'm like, oh, he's pretty cool. Just saying, he's pretty cool.
And I feel like
He's not that bad.
one of the things you said earlier about the show speeding through things, it's because it's an 8-hour show.
Yeah.
So maybe it would have been like
They had
two
than
more
enough
episodes
time.
or
They had
something.
more than
we
enough
could
time,
have
man.
They could
we
have
could have
done
gone and maybe developed the villain a little
Yeah.
bit more. I don't know about
That's
you
right.
guys, but I thought the 8 episodes are completely fine because it doesn't overstuff.
Oh, no,
plots,
no, it
elements,
doesn't, no.
stories. It doesn't overrun. It doesn't
No.
overstay its welcome.
You're
It's-
right. It doesn't.
it's
It
just
knows
fine.
what it's doing. But a lot of the problems about the character development also come into that. Like it's just 8 episodes, so we can't stick around to make sure that you sympathize with the villain, or that the villain has better motivation than just being evil, or you can't find out more about Eleven's facility, or if there's other kids, if she's the only one. It's probably because it's too short. And I hate that I'm bringing this up right now, 8 minutes, 9 minutes in, but
Gotcha.
Twin Peaks is the same thing.
I haven't watched Twin Peaks.
Is it?
Twin Peaks is Stranger Things. Like you can see, like the writers of Stranger Things watched Twin Peaks. They maybe watched the X Files and were like, "Well, this is cool. Let's do
I
something."
want to believe.
So, in Twin Peaks, like the show, it does the same thing, but it takes too long to get to the interesting aspects of the murder and because it's a murder instead of a kidnapping, all that stuff. But the characters are already so well developed that when it starts, you're like, all right, let's go. Like with Breaking Bad, where the whole first season, it's awful because you gotta like.
I wouldn't call season 1 off.
Well, it's
I
not
think it's
really
season-
bad.
I think
That's
it's
a
season
topic
2.
for another
That's
day.
a topic for
I
another
I wouldn't
day.
call it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else can we talk about?
Talk about Blue Meth.
No, we're not gonna talk about Breaking Bad.
Alright.
The plot. Let's talk about the plot in general. So
What
this
about
kid is kidnapped.
I actually did really like the mystery surrounding
The mystery was
I-
interesting. I was
The
disappointed.
whole
I was bored to death with it.
Well, let's
'Cause-
get to that first.
okay.
I actually really did
Okay.
like the way they did the mystery,
Okay.
partly because of the atmosphere and how well shot the show is. The cinematography is great. I don't know. I was just really invested in the whole mystery. Plus, again, it's like 8 episodes, so it's really short. You can get to it fast.
Yeah.
For now.
So, I liked it. I thought it worked. You didn't know where Will was, and then 11 comes along, and things get going. The mystery gets going. Then Will,
Right. Yeah.
Will comes up, his body in the ravine. Was it a ravine? It was like this river thing.
Yeah. Like
The
a
quarry.
quarry.
Yeah.
The quarry, yeah, the quarry. Sorry.
Yes.
And then the mystery keeps going and going,
And then you find out that the body is fake.
Yeah,
it's stuffed.
exactly.
That blew me away. Because I thought, maybe it's another kid, but then she breaks in and then she starts cutting him open and he's stuffed. That was as creative as it gets. That's some
I'm sorry.
shit.
I would have been surprised if he really was the kid.
Yeah, but
I'm
then,
like, oh, whatever.
Do you roll credits here?
So
That would have been awesome if they had been like, oh, it's actually him.
He's a-
Dude, that would have been amazing. Although it would have made the show too short. Obviously.
short,
But
then-
I'm just saying, from the shock value of just like, dang,
Jesus.
sold. I would have.
So
Yeah.
why did you, Jay, think it was disappointing?
I thought
What did you
it
want?
was disappointing, probably because I didn't think that the end of it all would be it's a monster and you just gotta accept that, I thought there'd be more about maybe the monster was created, maybe something, like I wanted something more.
Yeah,
But
same.
it's like once they find out the monster kidnapped Will, it's like, okay, it kidnapped Will and the monster is a monster because he's a monster. And
Yeah.
he comes from the place where monsters live because that's what monsters do. Deal with it.
Actually, I kind of like that they don't explain the whole lot of things.
Oh no, I don't want them to explain it. It just like the
Like-
mystery was a little bit underwhelming because
Yeah, you know what? You could even say
I don't
they
know.
explained too much by making it visually and with the narrative. You could say they showed too much by downgrading the mystery to it's just a monster.
right.
Maybe if they had said even less.
I liked it, but I was more interested in the FBI, not the FBI, the
government?
government than I was in the monster. The monster kind of bored
Yeah,
me.
again, more interested in the
Well, I
people.
mean, I can kind of understand you. Since we didn't see the monster a lot, I just feel like it worked for me.
Okay.
Show, don't tell.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that
for
was
sure.
fine. That was fine.
The way they built him up was
The way they
great.
built up the monster, especially my favorite scene in the entire show. I don't know about you guys. It's near the end of episode 4 where she does the alphabet on the wall.
Oh, yeah,
She's
that
out
was-
with the
that was
the
so
markers
cool.
and the light bulbs. And then she knows her son is there. She says, "What do I do now?" And he says, "Run!" And you're like, "What the fuck?" And then this fucking thing comes out of the roof.
Yes.
Like, holy
Oh
crap!
my god.
That was one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
Maybe I was in too much in the movie, but it was definitely really scary.
No,
It
it
was really
was-
cool. It was really cool. That's for
it
sure.
wasn't a
So-
suspenseful scary, but I was
Exactly.
like, oh god,
The
know.
monster wasn't there a lot, but when he was, it was really scary,
Yes,
and I thought
yes.
it worked, and that's why I thought
Yeah,
the mystery worked.
You know, maybe
Yeah.
maybe another problem was the technology they had.
What do you mean?
Because the full
Oh, you
screen.
mean at the moment, like at the 80s? Or you mean...
Or do you
no,
mean-
no,
what are
no,
you talking
of
about?
the show, of the show.
Okay.
Because the full body shots of the monster are really underwhelming.
Oh, but you gotta understand the CGI in television has always been awful.
But that's not...
Exactly,
You
maybe-
can't use that argument against this show because this is a Netflix show, and these
Mm.
Netflix shows have high budget.
That's
You
true.
can look at Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist,
Yeah, yeah,
all these
yeah.
other shows.
Yeah, man.
So
But
you
it-
can't
when the
really-
technology
Did you
wasn't
think-
there.
I don't necessarily think the monster looked bad.
I didn't think it
No,
looked
He
bad.
looked off in some scenes, especially in
Yes.
the last episode. Where
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
whenever-
confronts the
Again, the
monster.
full body
Yes,
shots
yes.
of him were really.
If he
Oh,
was
well.
like suddenly in there, I could totally believe it and it was scary. But if he stayed too long in the shot, I slowly started noticing that this was just like a fictional
He looked
CGI rendering.
I never thought he looked explicitly bad. He just looked
No,
kind of
no.
off.
He just looked kind of off.
But
Yeah.
in some really close-up scenes, like one of the episodes where Eleven is in the upside down and she sees the monster in the distance, and then she walks up to it, and it's a really close-up shot of his back, and it's really detailed. And it looked pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if
Well,
that
they
was
kept that
CGI or
Maybe.
it was
I
prosthetic
don't
or
know.
makeup, but it looked really good.
I don't know, it was interesting.
They would have benefited, I think, from a mixture.
They would have benefited from a
Depending
mixture.
too much on the CGI near the
Yeah.
end really hurt.
I think.
That's why me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't.
I don't know.
That's maybe one of the reasons they didn't show the monster a lot, because maybe
Yeah,
didn't
maybe
have
they
the
should have
money-
kept it that way.
Maybe they didn't have the money for the CGI for the monster.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Although Netflix did
But
say.
what did I don't know if you already said it, but why do you think the mystery was broken?
Oh yeah.
It's just. It was good up until, like he said, it just turned into a monster flick.
Yeah, it went from that's the problem. I think it went from a detective story to a scary movie too quick. You know,
Also,
like it's too much of a cut clean. It's a monster, case closed. Nothing to see here, guys. You know.
yeah.
That's what I think
Definitely.
it was. Maybe if like in the 90s where monsters
Uh.
being a thing would like, cause I'm so desensitized by media now that everything is like it's zombies, everything is like a monster, it's a ghost. So I'm just like, okay, I know exactly what to expect. So then seeing another monster kidnapping this kid and the detective story turning into a horror story, It's not that I saw it coming because
I
you
still
know
wouldn't
it,
call it a
but
flat out horror story.
no, not really. Right, next point. The music of that show.
I love that score.
Oh
It
my
gave
God.
me- I don't know if you guys ever watched It Follows.
Yes.
No.
The
It
music,
follows
the only
vibes.
thing that worked in that movie was the
Mm.
soundtrack.
Let's
He
agree
didn't
to-
like
let's
It
ag- let's
Follows.
just
Oh, no,
agree to
no.
disagree there.
It's just that I wanted a different style because I feel like they really ruined what the potential that they had in that movie. But that's for another day.
That's for another day. And he
But
actually has a
the
good
music though was amazing in that movie, and this show, it's on its way there. It's not quite there yet, but I like the music.
Synthesizer score, it was just really nice. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it really sold this 80s vibe that
Yeah,
the
same.
show
I
clearly
agree.
has going
I
on.
agree. I agree. I see
You know,
that.
I was
Does it
debating
work?
that
But too
until like
much.
the end.
What were you debating?
If it was late 80s or early 90s, like
They-
all the way up to the end.
They
So
did.
I wasn't
Say
certain.
they did say it was like 1983.
I think I missed that, but
It was 1983.
I wasn't entirely sure.
No, because they were talking about the kids were talking about one episode about Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, yeah, but that came out in. Oh wait, no.
That came out in 80.
Episode.
Epi-
Oh wait. What?
Empire Strikes Back,
Empire-
episode
that's
5.
that- oh, okay. Sorry, I'm confusing it with
Yeah,
episode 4,
that was-
which came out in the
80s.
70s.
But the first
Okay.
episode states that it's either 83 or 84. Pretty sure it's
Yeah.
83.
What year did Poltergeist come out?
80, I'm pretty sure. I think.
Because you know they do mention
Yeah, they do,
Poltergeist.
they do
Mission
mention
Poltergeist, E.T., and you clearly
Yes,
see all
those
these.
are all 80s.
Yeah.
You can see all these influences, especially in
Yeah.
one of the episodes. I think it's episode 10.
right.
where
There are not 10 episodes. There are 8.
Oh, right. Sorry. In one of the later episodes, I
Right,
forget about
there
that.
you go.
10 episodes. Good
Yeah,
show.
right?
In one of the episodes, they're running away in bikes,
Oh yes,
and
yes.
that was just straight out of E.T.
Oh yeah,
Straight
yeah,
out
for
of
sure.
E.T.
Definitely,
I like those
definitely,
things.
and
They have
especially
cool
like
vibes.
that alien, otherworldly presence that saves them from the people who are chasing
Oh yeah,
them.
when she flips the van.
That was great.
That's one of the
But-
things that. Sorry, that's one of the things that works. Like the influences are there, but they're
Yeah,
not too
yeah.
on the nose.
It's not too on the nose, and I mean, a lot of people, but I don't see it. A lot of people say that it's amazing that this show, how well this show replicates the 90s,
The 80s.
but the 80s, sorry. But I feel like, I mean, anyone could do that if they really wanted to. It's just no one does.
I disagree.
But I mean, with
all
the
the really-
technology we have, it doesn't take a lot of work to recreate another era.
Not a lot of people.
Not a lot of people
Not
care.
a lot of people care about writing these characters as well as they did.
I suppose you have a point.
And
you do.
that's another part that the direction comes in, the way they executed this era and time and the characters, the setting, the atmosphere. That's what works. Because sometimes you have movies set in the past, period pieces, that just don't work because either the characters, you don't like them, or there's something off about the atmosphere. It just doesn't work. But this show works, and that's one of the reasons it's great. The atmosphere. You really feel like this is the 80s. And one time I just said, damn, I wanted to live in the 80s so bad.
I just don't see. I don't think it's the greatest show of all time.
It is not the greatest show of all time.
A lot of people are
Who's
like,
saying
hyping it up.
that?
Everyone, the
I haven't
internet
heard that.
hypes it up like crazy.
I mean,
it was great. I loved it.
There's a lot of hype.
And-
There's a lot of internet hype saying it is a great show. That's one of the reasons I started watching it.
Yeah, it's the internet hype.
Because it popped up on my Netflix, and I heard a lot of people talking about it, and I said, "Oh, I'll give it a shot."
Yeah.
And I love the pilot. It's not a pilot.
Yeah.
It's a first episode. It's not a pilot.
mhm.
But yeah, I watched it because of the internet.
What else? What else is there to talk about the show?
Oh, we talked about.
What do you think about Winona Ryder's character? Joyce, what's she
Whose
called?
character?
Winona Ryder, Joyce, mom of Will and Jonathan.
Oh, she was great.
She's
She
cool.
she gave me so much anxiety. Like she actually felt like a mom who had that child missing.
Yeah.
I totally
Yeah.
believe that.
Definitely for the second half of the show, it got even better with
Yeah.
her.
And like there were points where I didn't know if she was crazy or not. You know, at first I'm like, no, you're insane. Something else happened.
Yeah,
to
that's
Will.
one of the things that I think the show did well. I don't know about you guys. That at some point, even though you've clearly seen all these events because you're the audience,
Exactly.
even if you're the audience, I even doubted her. Like, is she crazy?
Exactly.
Like,
There
are
was
these
a-
light bulbs just acting out? And
Exactly.
randomly-
Like what is it? What you know?
But then,
But they did a great job selling that out. That little mystery of maybe she's right, maybe she's not. The whole desperate mom. Like there were moments where I was hugging my dog because I didn't want him to go.
I do
missing.
agree. Her character was very anxious.
Very
It
yeah.
was very well played.
A lot of
What
the
is-
a lot of the characters.
A lot of the
were
characters
well
were,
played.
We
yeah.
haven't talked about Nancy. What did you think about Nancy?
Nancy
Nancy.
is
What
what?
did you think
Wait, isn't
about-
that Barb? Who's
No,
Barb?
Barb is
Barb is
Nancy's
the
friend.
redhead who died.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Barb.
Yeah, Barb is
oh,
awesome.
Oh no. Barb dies. What the fuck? That
Yeah,
fucks
she
me
died.
up. I'm like, she'll be fine.
I thought she was. I thought they were gonna like rescue her. No.
And no one gives a fuck about Barb. That show ends and everyone's like, oh well, Barb's dead. And they're like, what? It's a good thing Will's alright, because Barb's dead. I didn't like that. Like,
I wanted Will to be dead too.
Well, I don't. That
That
just
for
really,
me, the mystery right there would have been disappointing if Will would have just died.
Yeah, at that
Well, that
point,
would have been great. That would have been like, oh man, we really can't mess with these things. We gotta seal this door. Also,
he's a cynic. That's the problem.
oh yeah, I love it when characters die.
He does.
Why? Because if you put them in a situation that is that impossible,
No, I know, but you gotta remember that
no,
you
I
still.
don't need happy endings.
Oh, you don't need happy endings. That's not what I'm saying. But you are by making everything you ever write a bad ending, then you're just doing the same thing that
Who said I
Hollywood does
wasn't writing?
backwards. No, but you know what I mean.
No,
not-
but
It's not just what Jay just said. It's
Okay,
because
wait,
you've been on this journey of all these characters, and you just like them so much, and you want to see them complete their goal.
but Will's the
Find Will.
okay. Will's the worst one.
Okay,
it's the
then
one
how
we
do you-
least talk to. I mean, not
Okay,
talk
yeah,
to,
but
the
you
one
want
we
the
see-
mom to be okay. So how do you trade this off? How do you make this whole journey worth me watching? If the kid's
Exactly.
dead?
If Will is dead in the end,
Like, give me a
it's-
good
doesn't
point.
really.
Just give me something.
It
And
adds
I'll
up to
accept it.
like.
I mean, for
nothing,
me,
I guess.
because for me it would be, oh well, he died. Yeah, it would make sense to me because this is.
No, I'm not saying it
This
doesn't
is-
make sense. He's dead, but now how do you conclude this show?
Oh, not an actual burial. How about that?
What?
Yeah.
You end the show with a funeral and then you roll credits?
This is just one.
No.
part.
Like, if you're gonna kill him, you have to like make this super last battle with the monster. It's the only way, because then someone needs to be redeemed.
I mean, assuming that the show is getting a second season,
It is getting a second
And
season.
it's-
then it would be great if like they find them dead and maybe end it there, or maybe end it in the funeral, but then show something else
No.
pertaining to the second season.
no,
Nah.
don't do the funeral. The funeral's an awful idea.
All right, no funeral, but I would prefer that
If
he has
he's
been
dead, the mom has to fight the thing and win or die fighting it.
She'd probably die.
But then like
Only Hopper would either be able to either defeat the
that's
monster,
even worse,
to
'cause
defeat
Hop-
the monster or escape.
let me tell you the problem with that. I just
Or maybe
realized-
Hopper would have to sacrifice it for the mom to get out.
no. Let's
Those
do
are-
it this way.
This is just options.
Let's
though.
do it this way.
Spit
The
ball.
problem is that since the mom, you really want the mom to be okay, so that's one
Which
thing.
makes it even cooler when she's
No, hear me
not.
out. Hear me out. You also want Will to not die, which is the second part. Everyone wants
Admittedly, I
it.
didn't care about Will.
That's just
Whatever floats your boat, man.
Thank you. Thank
no,
you.
but hear me out. Hear me out. And the third one is that Hopper sees his daughter in Will. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Holy
yeah, he
shit, that
has
the
storyline was so
problem.
good.
So
Yeah.
then, the only bad ending you can make here, because of Hopper, just because of Hopper also being a character that wants Will to live, the only good bad ending you can do here is Hopper dying to save Will, because then Hopper
No,
is
no,
redeemed,
no. Hopper-
Will is alive, and the mom is alive. But if Will dies, the mom isn't redeemed, Hopper isn't redeemed, everyone loses.
What's wrong
And
with that?
I just watched 8 episodes and I wasted my life.
Not
Kind
really.
of.
You watched 8 episodes of, well, these people died, but now the rest of the town can move on a healthy lifestyle.
I'm kind of curious.
Isn't that enough?
Well, they
Okay.
didn't kill the monster,
Yeah, but at least, you know.
so the monster's
but at
gonna
least
come
they-
out and kill more people.
No, because as we know, this woman, you know, does that what she does and goes in there with him. You know, the monster. We don't know if the monster can come back.
11?
Yeah, so we don't know if he can come back. But
Oh,
us-
11 does kill it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, isn't it enough that the town
No,
gets
no.
to live?
Let me tell you
These people
what I
are just
didn't like about
bees.
that. I didn't like that 11 is still alive. That is the only thing I just cannot work with.
Oh, I was so glad she was alive.
I know, like, obviously,
I-
deep inside I'm like, yay, because I really like her and I'm glad she's alive. But story-wise,
But they
did we
don't-
really need that?
They don't really explicitly say.
They don't, but
She's
come on,
alive.
you know she's
I
fine.
think she's the only character I wanted to see get back with their parents. To be honest,
Uh,
but I'm really neutral on whether she
But
should have
who are
died or
her
not.
parents?
Aren't they the
yeah,
ones
the
that?
woman.
Yeah, the woman that they go visit.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah,
Fuck
also
her
mom.
too, apparently, because this show's ending is just like fuck everyone, fuck
Not
Bart.
really.
That's
no,
actually
it's like,
what-
oh, just here, Will. That's all you wanted from
Yeah,
episode
That's
one,
not what I
Didn't you
wanted.
pay attention?
Oh, there you go. See,
Didn't you like?
No,
Yeah, you
I'm
do.
saying I
No,
wanted
no.
more. I wanted Will to be fine, and I
No,
got
no.
Hopper's redemption, but I wanted
You
Barb
keep
to
talking
be
about
fine.
redemption. Why was Hopper? Why did Hopper need to
Because
be redeemed?
Hopper
Dude,
is
Hopper
trying
needs
to
save a kid that he couldn't save.
exactly. He couldn't save his daughter, so now he's like, I have to save this kid because I can't fail myself for the second
Twice,
time.
yeah.
Exactly. So Like, he'd probably kill himself if he didn't get Will. That makes me sad. Maybe I just don't want Hopper to be sad. I don't care about Will. I just want Hopper to be okay, so I need Will to live. That's my problem.
Yeah, Will should die.
Hopper had a great phantom punch. That motherfucker he one punched that guard.
Oh yeah,
in the
Dude! Wait, what is he
and
sounding
plus that government guy, like, oh, it's Hopper. Oh, okay. Miss Hopper, bam! That guy's down.
Your boss wants to
fuck
see
it.
me.
Your boss wants to see me. Ah, screw it. Ah! I love that.
Hopper is really
I like that
so
Hopper. Hopper says sort of what the audience is thinking sometimes too. That's
Yeah,
what I kind of
kinda.
liked about it.
Plus, there's that meta ending, like, oh, we didn't finish this. Oh, but it only lasted like 8 hours. Oh, that's fine. But this and this and that, they have the like
What?
meta ending.
I don't understand.
When they're playing Dungeons and Dragons with Will after he's
Oh
back.
yeah.
The meta ending.
That meta
They
ending.
talk about like Blue's plot ends and story ends.
Yeah, that was. Why did Hopper get thrown in that government car? What was the point of that?
Why
Who
not?
knows? We don't know.
I'm
Like,
thinking,
is that gonna bring
in
in?
my mind?
Yeah.
Okay, in my mind, I don't know if you guys ever watched Stargate. So, but to me, the place where the monster first broke through in the electrical place
Okay.
kind of looks like the Stargate area in the show
Style.
Stargate. So, redundancy. So, I was thinking, oh my god, what if they just told Hopper, we need you to be to lead a team on off-worldly expeditions
Jesus
to go where
Christ.
humanity's never gone before?
I'm gonna tell you, I thought Hopper was also gonna die, like as a thing, as a like,
As a thing?
you know,
I
hey,
thought he was gonna
thanks for letting me save the child and the mom.
Okay.
I understand that I need to die now because I know too much. So he got in the car willingly to accept his fate, but then he's fine 10 seconds later. So I also didn't know what the point of
I'm
that
gonna
was.
assume he became the chief.
I think maybe we didn't see that deal with the man with the white hair. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting his name.
Yeah.
Did they ever see his name?
Let's just call
Probably.
it.
Yeah.
And you, no, but the
But
deal
the
was
point
he
is- no,
forgot,
no, no,
he
the
forgets
point
what he
is-
sees.
That's what he told us. He told us that the government was gonna let him go to the Upside Down in exchange for where 11 was, but we never explicitly saw that deal on screen. I don't remember seeing that.
Oh
deal.
yeah, you don't see it. You
So
just,
maybe part of the deal was Hopper, which is one of the theories I read, that Hopper works for the government now.
Probably.
Whoa!
how did you not
Season
see
two
that?
confirmed. Yeah, but the problem with that,
I was thinking,
like,
I said,
that was cool.
He's probably gonna be the next white-haired guy.
That'd be cool, but the problem with that is that season 2 isn't gonna be related with season 1, is it?
What?
I heard that it's gonna be completely original.
No, it's not an they were gonna do it in an anthology series, but then with this universal acclaim that they got and these characters, blah 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 blah, they decided to like dump it and continue following up on these
Oh,
characters.
well, in that case, I suppose it would make sense because then we get to know what happens with Hopper, what you know, who those people were.
Yeah,
I mean,
was
do
it
you really
11
care
is
what
still
happened,
alive? What Hopper did? Why did he get in the car? What happened to Barb? Why did no one
I mean,
care?
Barb-
Why did no one care about Barb?
I mean, Nancy cared until like the
Nancy
last.
cared-
Yeah, she cared until the episode where it mattered.
Yeah, and then after that, Nancy's like, I feel content. I'm good, you know, and I'm like, but your best friend's
Nancy
dead.
was so good though.
Nancy was great.
Yeah, until
but,
the part where her writing kind of falls off the walls.
you know,
See, they really lost the plot.
What do you mean?
they
Believably, she was like, Barb this, Barb that. I want to find Barb. If this thing has anything to do with Barb, I want to be in on it. You know,
Right.
she does all this. The last episode, it's just like or the penultimate one, when 11 is in the sensory deprivation pool, it's like, well, Barb this. Oh, you know, 11 starts screaming God, and then when they find out if Barb is alive or not, she's like, whatever. She's
Whatever.
like,
Yeah, but
he's
they were-
like, whatever.
she was
man."
still she was still determined to kill the monster because.
Oh yeah, she was determined to
Yeah,
kill the
but
monster. That was
the
there.
objective was to see what happened to Barb,
Well,
not
she
to kill the monster.
saw what happened to Barb and she's like, holy shit.
She didn't see it though. She just heard 11 scream God.
But yeah,
For
but
like-
she knows what 11 can do. So
Hey, yeah, she killed Barb.
yeah, she was gonna take her. She was gonna take 11's word
Next
for it.
summer, watch Nancy go balls to the wall with Jason Voorhees and go tackle the most empowered human of all time. The
What?
number 11.
I like how. Wait, let's just take a moment. What? Why is Jason Voorhees here?
It is the 80s.
Oh, I see. And he's aligning himself with the camp folk this time.
Yo, he wants redemption, just like Chief Officer Hoffer.
Okay, well, so we're gonna go to the lake, which is
And they're
actually-
gonna drift in the lake.
all right. Let me just stop.
That's
this.
enough of that tangent. Stay tuned.
You need to write this down. This is your next movie, right?
Yeah, Drifting Lake, Jason Voorhees, Nancy from Stranger Things. It makes sense.
Friday the Third Drift. I got it. I got the title.
No, you don't.
All right. Is that it? Is that everything?
No.
No.
Going back to Nancy.
Going back to Nancy.
She wasn't. You said Barb this, Barb that. It's because she wasn't. I wouldn't explicitly call Barb Nancy's moral compass.
Yeah.
But
she did help her.
Yeah, she did.
She said, "Nancy, don't go to Steve.
Nancy, please. Nancy, please.
Nancy, don't do this. Nancy, don't do that."
And then the fucking picture
I like that
they
she.
took.
Oh yeah, that picture.
That you can see like the monster behind
Yeah.
Barb. That was insane. Like that freaked me out.
I'm surprised. This brings up a question. Why didn't I forgot the? Is it John Byers? Jonathan Byers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't Jonathan Byers do something? He could have screamed, thrown a rock.
Oh, no, 'cause he drops the camera.
Remember, he drops the
Oh,
camera.
right, he drops.
Exactly.
He doesn't see the monster.
He-
Exactly. If he shot himself dropping
That
the
scene
camera.
was so creepy.
It was.
In a good way because it was so well done.
Yeah,
When he's
and then,
taking
like-
the pictures and they're in the distance, like doing their
Yeah, and
teenager
you're
stuff.
like, you know, what's this all
Like,
about?
you're such a creep. That's why I couldn't get into him first. Into
I
Jonathan.
don't think anybody can get on into
Shut up,
Jonathan.
I'm talking about his character. I couldn't get into his character because he was so creepy and
Yeah.
just so
The monster couldn't
stereotypical social outcast.
Right, but he's actually a cool kid, which is,
Yeah,
Also the stereotype.
I
Again,
suppose.
It would have been.
yeah, they just like they break out of the stereotypes and they grow into these characters.
Yeah, that's
that you
all
like.
what all the characters do, honestly. Yeah,
Especially Nancy. Nancy was just.
especially Nancy. Yeah.
She came
That's
off
a
as
small
conservative.
town.
I don't know about you guys. She came off
Conservative.
as conservative.
I mean, I think Jonathan
Maybe
says that too. He's like,
maybe
you do
because
it.
it was the '80s, because she had like these long dresses that you couldn't see her legs, so she came off as conservative to
What do you
me.
mean? She was wearing pants for most of the
I
show.
think-
And that's
Everyone
why.
wears like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
everybody-
don't know. I'm just
The
saying.
only person I think wore a dress was Barb and Eleven.
And I was
The only
kind
people,
of. I was kind of surprising to see her become this like axe wielding, gun wielding badass.
Which is cool.
Yeah, she was really
When
cool.
she shoots better than Jonathan. Like,
I mean,
I
that
kinda-
part was like, of course.
Of course, yeah, but I liked it. It was great. It made me laugh, and I liked it. You know,
I would have been surprised if she was the one with the bat.
she had the bat for
What
a
do you-
Oh
moment.
yeah, for a moment.
She
You're
was
right.
swinging
You're right.
it, and she almost killed what's his
Steve?
name again?
On John Raphael.
John Raphael.
Goddamn.
We gotta watch
Steve.
some Parks and Rec. Steve, yeah, Steve.
I actually really liked that there was this sort of love triangle, but she didn't
Yeah.
end with
I
Jonathan.
like that. I like that she went back for Steve, and I like that
Because Steve is not a bad guy.
No,
he
he's
just
not.
does some bad things.
Yeah.
Which
I
doesn't
mean,
make
drives
him
him,
a
he,
bad
drives, I mean,
guy.
he drives a BMW.
Are you saying that everyone who drives a BMW is sort of douchebag?
Some of them, yes.
I wouldn't be. I agree.
Steve's
I
friends
agree.
were major douchebags. I hated those
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. They are the assholes, and
Yeah.
then he's in this social group where it's like, I mean, I don't know.
It's
you know?
more like social pressure.
Yeah. But I like that, man. I like that by the end, you know, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, I did this wrong. I want to get this right.
Yeah. Saying,
What do you want to see for season 2 of Stranger
What do I want to see?
Things?
Season two?
Nothing. Honestly, the way the show ended, I'm just like, does this even deserve a second season? I kind of don't want to watch anymore.
But do you say it
Also-
because it's bad or because
Did
you
these
think
guys
it's wrapped
say
up?
this?
Because I do feel like it's wrapped up. They kind of,
In that case,
they kind
I see his
of,
point.
I'm
But the
sad.
way you word it sounds like this is awful. I never want to see it again.
No, I'll admit, even though I watched it as homework,
And
I
I feel like
liked
that's
it.
one of the
I
reasons
did
you
like it.
really didn't like it that much. You were
no,
forced
but I
to watch
did.
it.
I'll admit, the last episodes 4 to 8 were really good.
Yeah, definitely.
They're
After
really
episode,
good.
Episode 4.
I was
Come
bored
on.
to death in episode 1 and 2, but I was really entertained with the people. But the monster was meh until like episode 5. And then it drops off again. Because I think the show peaks for me like in episode 5 and then drops again. And then tries to get back up there, but it can't. But they also tie up everything I needed to know by
But
the end of
there's
the show.
some loose threads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let
they
me,
can-
let
they
me,
can
let me
stay
talk
that
about
way.
that. The problem with Stranger Things is that those loose threads, because everything is wrapped up nicely, and then those loose threads are like the stereotypical 80s, 90s horror movie loose threads.
Like
How, well, we killed Freddy Krueger, except I'm actually not dead. Ha! Roll credits, you know what I mean? So I like, and that's how every horror movie is. They always, oh, we survived the horror, except not really. Roll credits, and I'm like, fuck, that's literally what Stranger Things is. They're the kid is fine and he's eating with his family. We're all happy because they're all together. And then he goes to the bathroom. He's like vomiting all this disgusting monster shit. Because actually, I'm not free. And look, I'm in the monster realm for a few seconds. And then he comes back and everything's cool. So you're like, oh my god,
Also,
is he actually not free?
You know, on that, I
You
thought
know?
it was really dumb that he wouldn't say anything. Considering that
Right?
everybody knows.
Considering
Why
he's
would he
like,
not say
Nah.
anything?
Nah, I'm just gonna go back
It'd
to
be
eating
so
this hot
easy
dog.
if he just said, "Mom, it's happening again. Let's go talk to Hopper."
Yeah, Mom.
Punch the monster.
This summer.
like,
No.
like he doesn't say anything, which is actually a good point.
Oh, man.
And then like I don't want this show to be season 2, the monster's back, or season 2, they're actually not done with the problem. No, if it's either if it's not a really good new problem, then
Actually,
I
it'd
don't
be
know.
cool.
I just don't know.
It'd be cool. It will turn into a hybrid.
That's actually what
That'd
I
be-
thought.
if
he
it's
was.
done well done.
Okay, but what would that
If
be?
it's done, I'm
But
not sure. Maybe like
hybrid, like
somebody that's like as strong as 11.
Okay, but
But can hide and
what's
thing.
the plot?
I'm not sure. Maybe he loses his mind as the monster takes control and he's trying to fight it, and then I'm not entirely sure. I'm just saying. I'm just spitballing here. That could be an interesting prospect.
Could be.
Could be. I don't know if it'd be enough to make me come back to watch season 2, but
I'll probably
It-
watch it regardless.
if it's well
yeah,
done.
I'll probably watch it regardless.
I don't know.
If you
I
make
just
it
don't know.
homework again,
Like I
maybe.
feel like if it would be the new season would be completely original, then they could do anything, and I'd be like, okay, whatever, it'll
Oh
work.
my god, it'd be
But-
awesome. And I just say that it'd be
Yeah.
awesome if they do a completely untethered season 2.
Yeah, like,
Except
and
that the monster or the antagonist is actually Will, and like everybody in that town is like dead, and this thing has been out of control for years now. That'd be really dope. I'm just saying, but they don't force it in there. You have to connect those dots
What?
yourself.
That's why you don't write.
Yeah.
No, oh wait, let me
Okay.
explain. Will,
Uh-huh.
second season,
But it's
no
not
connection.
untethered.
That's the plot twist. Anywho,
Oh, the plot twist is that it's not untethered.
exactly. So
Oh, I
second season, nothing to do with season 1, except at some point, I guess. I don't know when you would do this, but
You just really like with the idea of Will being a monster now.
I know, it just kind of popped into my head now, and I'm like, damn, it'd be really cool if you suddenly, the monster!
I like that you pitched it once, and then you pitched it in a different way again, and I was like, oh, is this a new idea? No, it's the same one.
I'm that
You just
I just put dollar signs on things, and
Just
people
like
just sign on them.
aliens.
I just think that season 2 is gonna be like you
Alien
said.
2?
Yeah, no, season 2.
I heard Alien.
I gotta watch Alien 2. I just think that it's like you said. I think he's gonna be like a hybrid because he puked the thing.
Right? He'd be like a hybrid. Oh my god, what if every time he
Because-
pukes, that thing infects somebody else?
Ew.
We have to nuke the town.
I think he's gonna be a hybrid or something regarding the monster. Maybe he's gonna be a portal himself.
Oh
To
my
the
god.
But are there
Upside
more
down.
monsters?
That's another thing. Are there more monsters?
I think he would be the one
Are
spawning.
there more dimensions? Like a lot of.
I mean,
I
a
just
lot of
really
questions up in the
don't
air.
want season 2 to be it's happening again. And
Yeah.
I know, but,
here
I
we
think,
go.
but it's not it's not the same thing though, you know. And also
Yes.
we can't bring 11 back though. We have to leave it as maybe she's. dead
11's
and
coming
then-
back. I
11's
agree.
coming back.
I would really
the
not.
problem with that is that
She's too popular now.
Not only is she
for-
too
Who
popular.
cares? Oh, we put a
I don't
bald
care.
girl with
No, no.
superpowers.
I don't care about that either.
Okay.
The problem is that they didn't kill her outright, and they're also not
I mean,
doing an
maybe-
untethered season 2. If it has anything to do,
Yeah. Obviously, these spitball ideas were if they did untethered, but you know.
But one of your spitball ideas was completely tethered.
Yeah, but only after you figured it out.
I hopefully it's not a rethread of the original season.
Yeah, hopefully.
So it's not the same deal, not the same monster or another similar situation. Like this monster's on the loose from this dimension. We have to find this girl, and the monster took this person. We have
Yeah.
to find this person. Like something different.
It can be whatever. I'm gonna have my faith on it.
Exactly. I just want to
I
see
want-
these
you know
characters
what?
again.
I'll-
See them well done again.
I want to see some McCarthyism in season 2. That'd be really cool.
Oh, so you mean
What?
like
So a red scare, a
McCarthyism?
red scare.
Yeah, you know
Just
how
like there's a
everyone
new
thought-
thing happening, but they blame it on the Reds because why not? It's still the Cold War era, and
That'd
then
be
that,
interesting.
or maybe the Russians accidentally create the next,
That'd be
problem.
interesting.
and it maybe goes into Alaska. And
It could be an American Horror Story esque show.
But it can't because season 2 is not going to be an anthology.
Yeah, it's not gonna be, so it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Just thinking about what season 2 could
Just
be.
don't-
for
Sergeant
2020.
Hopper.
Just don't do a True Detective. Just don't
No.
don't do a great season and have
then
a
fuck
shitty
it up.
yeah, a
Oh
shitty second
my
season.
god!
No
Have you
comment.
ever seen True Detective?
What's it about?
That
True
show's
Detective.
amazing.
It's amazing. True Detective season 1 is probably one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life.
But
Season 2
But-
is so
But,
bad.
but season 2.
like season 1 is Breaking Bad good, right? And then
Oh my
season 2
God.
is like
I'd
the
argue
worst
I'd argue
show.
it's even better. Maybe.
Maybe look at that. Season 2 is so bad. It's so bad.
It's so
It's
disappointing.
So bad.
I hear you.
And it's not even like, oh, it's not better than season 1. No, it's just like flat out
Bad.
awful.
I wouldn't call it awful. It was just bad.
It's just bad. There you go. It's just fucking hell, man. And I really wanted it to be good. I wanted Vince Vaughn to be important
Oh my
again.
God.
Vince Vaughn is in it.
Vince Vaughn is in it.
And he's so like.
And he's trying so hard.
Look, let's just.
What are we missing?
Let's give the show a review. I think we've talked about everything by now. What would you give it? For scale of 1 to 10.
Scale 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a solid 9.5.
It's pretty
I
good.
would give it another, like, the whole 10 if the villain was more developed.
I agree.
I thought everything was great. The acting, the direction, the characters, the atmosphere, just everything technical and production-wise, plus the story was great. The mystery. You really like these kids. I like the setting. Again, I really wanted to be there in the 80s with these kids and play Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
I would like to play Dungeons
Why
and
don't you
Dragons.
play Dungeons and Dragons with us?
Because that's a story for another day.
That's a story for another day.
Alright,
But another thing, yeah, just how like the whole production value,
Yeah.
the technical stuff, plus the real story, and just everything about the story.
Definitely.
The real story.
What's the real story?
I mean like the story.
Oh, okay, I know what you mean. I feel like the show.
What
I
about
give it like a 7.75 or an 8. One of those two. You know, it's a great show. I really liked it, and let me tell you my problem. What did I say?
A 7. Cabrón.
Are you laughing?
What?
Are you laughing at the opinion I'm entitled to have on my own show?
Just wait till
You
you see.
fucking asshole!
Just wait till you see my.
You come to my house. Gabriel's house. Anyways,
Yeah, it is my house. For now.
I give it a 7.75 or an 8. It's one of those two.
Why?
Because I probably would have given it a 9, but then I saw Twin Peaks, and I realized that what I thought I liked about Stranger Things isn't what I actually liked about it, and I just
But
the hype died down.
What is this 180 that
Look,
you're doing?
I liked Stranger
Yeah.
Things, but after that that initial hype came down, and now that I'm looking at it way more objectively, it's a great show. But maybe season 2 is where I'm gonna give it that 10 or that 9, But not now. I'll give it an 8, and I'll recommend all of my friends to watching it. But, yeah.
So what didn't you like?
What didn't I like about it?
There we
Okay,
go.
I liked everything you did, but like I said, I felt like the mystery was too black and white. I felt that maybe it's not that they didn't kill off characters, because I don't mind that they don't kill off characters, but I think that maybe they played it too safe to guarantee another season.
Yeah, maybe you wanted like an increased sense of danger.
Yeah. And that they played it too safe to guarantee a second season.
Oh, you were saying 7.5. You recommend season 2 if it happened. To give it a 10.
I recommend season 1. No, I wouldn't give season 2 a 10. I'm just saying.
He said
maybe in season 2 we'll see that 10.
Yeah, you're
right?
saying if season 2 happens, which it will.
It will.
You're going to watch it.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna
maybe
watch
that's
it too.
gonna be the season that's gonna like make it all so good, But season 1 alone, it's an 8. It's a great show. It's not the best show I've ever seen in my life.
Exactly, it's not the best show I've ever seen.
No.
That's Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But it is a great show,
Yeah.
nonetheless. I'd recommend it.
Alright. With everything you know from today's episode, granted, I watched it as homework, and that's already a pretty big negative in what I saw. And granted, so if you want to watch something similar, where there's a mystery, I'd say watch like the first 5 episodes of Monster. It's very similar, and that there's
Monster?
If you watch, I'd say watch the first 4 episodes of that, and compare and contrast. Albeit, Monster maybe does the same thing because it's very similar.
Okay.
I think this mystery are a bit similar. I think if you watch Monster, you might see how it can be done in a different way that's still really good. But this show, I may give it like a 5 or 4.
Add 3.
Or no, it's actually a 2. You've been doing it wrong for like 3 episodes.
Oh, add
Anywho.
2.
What do you mean?
He has a really annoying kernel scale.
Nothing deserves a 10, man. Nothing, because then you take away improvement.
So you do a 5 scale?
No, he does something out of 10, but he always subtracts 2. So he says 5, he actually means 7.
Why?
Because he's an asshole. You understand that you give 5 or 6s to movies that normally are 10s. So that's why I do it.
Because they don't deserve the 10.
Why not?
He just makes
It
really
depends. It depends on the movie. But some movies get really close. Like there are movies I've given 9s.
His close is like usually an 8.
No, there are movies that get 9s.
Like what?
I think Mad Max Fury Road, when that came out, it got a 9.
See, I give it a 10, and he's
Yeah, I
like,
give it
and
a
he's
10.
like, I can't give it a 10, so I'll give it a 9.
If you
There's always
give
room
it
for
a 10, there's no
improvement,
room
Jay.
for improvement.
There's
What do
always
you mean
room
there's
for
room for
improvement,
improvement?
Jay.
Imagine, I don't know how, but imagine it even better. I don't
Imagine
know.
if Mad Max was dead at the end. Imagine
No,
if it was
Mad
all a
Max-
dream. I
Mad-
hate that Furiosa's still alive. Why are
What?
they in Australia?
I never
no,
said those
I'm not
things.
saying he said
I've
those
never-
things.
I've-
But like,
Mad
this is
Max-
probably things.
I've
Like,
never
why?
s-
Why is it so dry in Australia? There should be more water. I hate that the night is purple. Like, this
Mad
is
Max-
probably things you'd say.
I've never said that
No,
about
you
Mad
haven't.
Max.
You haven't.
Mad Max Fury
But if
Road
you
is
could-
actually a documentary about an everyday in Australia.
He just went to Australia and they just picked up the GoPro and they're like, let's just record what we
This is
see.
what happens in the Outback.
But nothing like.
This show,
Well, your rating, what was it again? Like
I give it a
4?
5.
A 5.
5 or a
Five.
4?
No, don't lower it more.
So that's like a.
Alright, so a
that's like a
3?
7 in our scale. That's a 7.
That's a 7.
I guess for you people that get angry easily, that's like a 7. Anywho, would I have watched this show? Probably never. I didn't even know it existed until they told me to watch it.
But are you glad you watched it?
No. I'm whatever.
You're just whatever about it?
I'm whatever. I could have spent those nights doing something else. If the season 2 comes out, and it will, maybe I'll watch it out of my own initiative.
Okay.
Just because I already watched season 1. Maybe I'll watch it. Season 1, though, if it wasn't for my friends, I would have never watched it, to be honest. I would have been busy watching something else.
Yeah, that's probably true. Look, let's just wrap this up. We've been going for an hour.
We've been there for a while.
Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, this is the We Know Nothing About crew, now working on the edits. If you like this episode, subscribe, give it a like. If you hate me because of the scores I give, you know what to do.